What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to take a look and a listen to Representative Kildee. He's going to be talking about Social Security reform. He's going to be asking some questions of the experts. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And once again, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And one more way to support us is by joining our membership. Just click the join button below. You'll get customized emojis as well as custom badges. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look and a listen to Representative Kildee talking about Social Security reform. Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member, for holding this hearing, and to our witnesses, thank you so very much for being here, and perhaps more importantly, for your years of work on this and other subjects. I'm from Michigan, and in Michigan, over 2 million seniors rely on Social Security just to make ends meet. For most of those folks, Social Security is the most important source of income retirement income, and in fact, for many, it's the only source of retirement income that they depend on. They have contributed, these folks that I represent, and we all represent, have contributed to Social Security with every paycheck, and rightfully expect that it will be waiting for them when it's time for them to retire. That's sort of the deal. When you work hard, you play by the rules, you ought to be able to retire with dignity. Those American workers have lived up, paycheck to paycheck, have lived up to their end of the deal, and so it's really important that Congress, on behalf of the American people, live up to our end of the deal and make sure that that benefit that they paid for, that was promised to them, is waiting for them. Democrats on this committee, it's been mentioned, Mr. Larson's leadership on this issue, Democrats on this committee are focused on delivering on that promise, and we're willing, even if it's hard, even if it may not be perfect, we're willing to put our name behind a proposal to fix this problem. And that's why we put up our solution to shore up the Social Security trust funds, to increase benefits, important part of this provision, for current and future retirees. We do so by making the wealthiest Americans pay into Social Security at the same rate as those Bay City teachers that I represent, or Saginaw firefighters that I represent, Midland factory workers that I represent are paying out of their paychecks. This approach stands, as has been said, in pretty stark contrast to the proposals, or lack of proposals, put forward by our Republican colleagues. Now, we haven't seen a legislative approach prepared and drafted and dropped in the hopper. We have done ours. But we do know that the Republican Study Committee, which 80% of House Republicans belong to, recently released their budget plan for 2025. And under their plan, Republicans would cut Social Security benefits by $1.5 trillion. You can say it's this or that or the other thing, but you take that kind of money out of the program, someone's going to have to lose a benefit. This proposal, which raises the retirement age and cuts benefits for family members, couldn't be more out of step from what I hear back home about the solutions that people want to see us take up. For the Michiganders, the seniors that I represent, barely getting by on their Social Security check, the answer to the long-term solvency of Social Security is not to increase the retirement age, not to cut benefits. It's time that we advance legislation that increases Social Security benefits to reflect the true cost of living that they experience, and does so by making the wealthiest Americans, who have done extraordinarily well, as evidenced by some of the data dating back to the 1983 reform. The millionaires and billionaires have done extraordinarily well, and they certainly can step up and do their fair share again. It's time to move legislation that does not cut benefits, that solves this problem by making sure that the people at the very top of our economy pay their fair share. That's what our legislation would do. And I want to ask a question. I just want to say to Mr. Houston, Mr. Goss, Mr. Swagel, thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for keeping us informed with the facts. The facts speak to the need for us to take action. I look forward to working for my remaining time here in Congress alongside each and every one of you to make sure we solve this problem. So thanks for your service to our country. I would yield to Ms. Sanchez.
Yeah, I just want to put a finer point on the immigration issue. When we have an underground economy, when workers are not part of the legal system, they do not pay into the Social Security system. Is that correct? Does anybody disagree with that?
That's correct.
So if we had opened up legal pathways for folks to naturalize and get their citizenship, they then would be, if they were working, paying into the Social Security system. Is that not correct?
That would make a significant difference. There are cases where people are not legally authorized, but they may nonetheless have earnings reported on their behalf by their employer with tax revenue coming into the trust funds. It goes into what we call the earnings suspense file. They will likely not ever get any benefit credit, but payroll taxes still accrue in many cases where people are not legally work authorized.
But that probably isn't the norm, because I would expect that a cash underground economy, nobody's contributing into the Social Security Trust Fund.
If people are paid cash, literally, absolutely.
So again, if we opened up legal pathways for those folks to regularize their status, we could boost what goes into the Social Security Trust Fund, correct? Thank you, and I thank the gentleman from yielding.
Okay, so that was Representative Kildee and Representative Sanchez. Now, one criticism I have is Representative Kildee, he didn't ask a question. You have experts in front of you. Ask a question. You can. I know he yielded some of his time to Representative Sanchez so she can ask a question, but he can ask a question as well. This is your opportunity to learn more from the experts. Why not use that instead of just saying, pretty much putting out a speech? That's all he did. He just said, we need to reform Social Security. These are the reasons why. But you have experts in front of you. And I'm sure there's questions that you have, so ask the experts. Now, Representative Sanchez, she did go back into immigration, and she's right. She's 100% correct when it comes to people who are working the underground working economy, or however she classified it. When it comes down to it, if you have people who are working and they're getting cash only, or you have people who are working in a situation where the employer is they've hired them, but they're not disclosing that these people work for them, or whatever they're doing, the money is not going to the payroll contribution. Okay, they're able to hide that money from the payroll contribution. And employers might look at this as a benefit, because let's say you're paying someone cash only, you don't have to pay taxes, insurance, and all that stuff for those employees, as well as you don't have to pay into the payroll contribution. So if you're paying cash, you're not paying that as an employer, you're not paying the 6.2%, and the worker's not paying 6.2%. And so the employer is getting away with things, even though you have, I think Representative Larson in the past, he said that the employers will match that 6.2%, but then they get tax write-offs for that. Well, some employers don't even pay the 6.2% because they're, the workaround is paying cash only. So when it comes down to it, Social Security, we obviously know, needs to be reformed. And I like to show you guys these clips of the different representatives asking questions and the different representatives making statements, because then you can get an idea of how they feel about Social Security reform. Do they want to expand Social Security, provide an increase for Social Security beneficiaries? So you'll get that idea, because right now, all of these representatives, or I'll say most of them, because some of them aren't running for re-election, but most of them are running for re-election. So now you have an opportunity, with the knowledge of how they feel about Social Security and Social Security reform, you can go and vote for that person or vote for someone else, because you might not agree with how they feel about reforming Social Security. So if you guys have questions, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.